Hey everyone, today's video is about when he's a villain. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Let's get going. Are you awake, Wan-chan? With the sound of the soft voice, you opened your eyes to see a green blur that slowly focused to become Midoriya. He sat beside your bed, politely with a smile. Midoriya? You responded as you carefully lifted yourself up to sit, before squeaking out in pain and falling back down. Careful! Midoriya exclaimed as he helped you up. Your eyes squeezed shut as the flashbacks of Bakugou and his quirk filled your mind, the memory of the pain falling behind quick. Ah! You grinned, eyebrows knitted closely as Midoriya stood up from his seat, ready to offer you a helping hand. Are you in pain? No, not really. You start as you lowered your hand down into the bed. I was just thinking about what had happened. Midoriya pursed his lips as he sat back down. Fits tightened as he remembered the gruesome scene. You've been recovering just fine, though. Your wounds are healing up pretty quick, though the more severe ones are bandaged up. Looking down at your arms, you notice the white hospital bandages wrapped securely around your arm, along with your forehead. Did I hit my head? You asked as you touched your forehead. Well, yeah, Midori replied. You notice the heel scars and burns along your cheeks and arms as you studied your body. The doctor said you might have to stay in the hospital for another 2 weeks or so for your body to fully heal, and so they can run tests on you to make sure you're okay. He gave Midoriya a smile before nodding. Sure, I'd want myself to fully heal too before I go out and do more hero work. You replied cheerfully, causing Midoriya to smile. But something about his words were off. Another? Does that mean you've been here longer than you suspected? How long have I been in the hospital? You questioned nervously as Midoriya froze at your question. Slowly meeting your gaze, he gave a nervous chuckle before answering. 2 weeks so far. 2 weeks? Your breathing became heavy as your heart raced, causing the heart monitor to sound an alarm. Midoriya jumped at the sudden alarm, but you managed to calm yourself down. What do you expect from an attack like that, though? You joke, with a sad smile, as you looked down at your hands. Midoriya eyed you, but before he could reply, your voice cut him off. Where's Katsuki? Kachan? Has he visited me at all? Of course, all the time, Midoriya exclaimed as he slammed his hands on his knees. Then where is he? I would suspect him to be the first person I see when I woke up. Not that I don't mind seeing you or anything, but you know. Midoriya shook his head with a small smile. No, I understand. Kachan, he's a little scared to see you right now because of what he did. He doesn't want to hurt you. He thinks you don't want to see him. Sadness took over your emotions as you looked down at your hands. I would never get mad at him for something like this. It wasn't even his fault. Midoriya scooted his chairs closer to you, and he had a smile on his face, which did make you feel better. You see those flowers over there? Midoriya pointed, and he turned to look at the lovely vase of flowers on the other side of your bed. Your hand reached out and slowly touched the petal, feeling the softness of it. Yeah, why? Kachan brought those for you. Your heart skipped a beat from that small sentence. Turning to look over at Midoriya, his smile turned more sincere, and he glanced back at the flowers. He did? Mm-hmm. He always checks up on you. He doesn't really like people other than himself and the doctors or nurses on. Your eyes glanced toward the hospital servant that blocked the door to your room, hoping to see Bakugou walk in any minute. Then why are you here if you wouldn't let anybody come? Well, Kachan asked me to be here for you when you woke up. Your brows knitted together sadly. As tears filled your eyes, a small pout coming to your lips. He didn't want you to be alone when you woke up, and he didn't want to be the first person you saw. Katsuki's such an idiot. You mumbled as you crossed your arms, wiping your tears away in the process. Midoriya gave you a soft pat on the shoulder with his signature smile. Don't cry, Wan-chan. One of these days, you'll catch him here checking up on you. Just wait. And so he did. With each visitor that entered your room, you hoped when they pushed the curtain to the side, they would be Bakugou. But as each visitor entered, Bakugou wasn't among us, any of them. As the days passed by, Bakugou never came to visit you. Days passed and the sun had already set as you were in bed, ready to fall asleep, hoping that Bakugou would come by tomorrow to see you. As you were about to drift off to sleep, you heard your door slide open and the sound of footsteps nearing the stairs to your room. Was it the doctor? Visiting hours should be over by now. Deciding to pretend to be asleep, you quickly shut your eyes in hopes that whoever was behind the curtain would fall for your act. Your heart raced when you heard the curtains draw back before the footsteps neared your hospital bed and toward the empty seat beside your bed. You were about to turn around to face the guest until you heard the familiar sigh. You're such a troublesome girl, Bakugou stated with his naturally angry voice. Reaching out, Bakugou gently grabbed a strand of your hair before pulling away and letting it slip out of his hand. You're always so careless. You're always trying to save people, but you always throw your damn self into danger. What an idiot. Your eyes stared straight at the wall in front of you as you listened to Bakugou's words. Your back facing him as you pretended to be asleep. You never think about me, huh? How I would feel if I found out that you fucking died. It was hard for you not to turn around and apologize. But you wanted to hear the rest of what Bakugou had to say. Your lips trembled, but you did your best to stay composed in front of him. You're so fucking selfish. With another sigh, Bakugou stood up. You quickly shut your eyes and hoped that he wouldn't notice your fake act. Bending down, Bakugou pressed a kiss on your temple before he walked over to the curtain. You deserve better anyways. Hearing those words, you quickly sat up. Katsuki! You cried before Bakugou could exit the room. His eyes widened as he took a step back and slowly turned to face you. You looked at him with a hurt expression as he grabbed the blanket that laid across your legs. Bakugou was shocked to see you awake. He frowned at you, narrowing his eyes. Shoving his hands in his pockets, he trudged out of your room, leaving you without an answer. Katsuki, come back! You cried as you threw your legs off the bed and stumbled out of the room for him. Katsuki clenched his teeth as he walked towards the elevator. He didn't want you to see him. It would just cause you more pain and trouble. Just as he was about to reach for the button, he heard a loud thud behind him. Turning around, Bakugou watched your frail body struggle to stand up. Your eyebrows furrowed in frustration as you held the wall for support. Your legs shaking with each step you took. Wait up! And when you were about to fall, Bakugou ran and caught you in those strong arms that you loved, lowering you to the ground. Bakugou made sure you were okay before he let go, but you grabbed onto him before he could leave. Don't leave, you say quietly. You always do this. Bakugou grumbled as you glanced up at him. His red eyes stared back into yours as the light blood crossed your cheeks. What? You always find a way to get hurt because of me, Bakugou replies as he glanced away from you. Why would you stop? It was little, but you could hear the way his voice cracked at the end. It's because I love you, you said as you grabbed his shirt tightly. Your eyes are desperate for his, but all he can do is avoid your gaze. Katsuki, I just want to be with you. Bakugou reached out and grabbed your shoulders, before shaking your fragile body as you glanced up at him with wide eyes. Why don't you understand, huh? I just ended up hurting you again. Do you want to end up in the hospital because of me, again? He yells as his grab on you tightens. Bakugou was beating himself up because of what he has done to you during the villain raid, but it wasn't his fault. Bakugou opened his mouth to scold you again, but you cut him off. I don't care if I get hurt. I don't care what happens to me as long as you're right. Bakugou's heart skips a beat. You're always able to catch him off guard with those words of yours. You'll always be the villain's target, because you're a strong hero, and because of that, Katsuki, it's my turn to protect you. Bakugou clenched his teeth before bringing you into a hug. You're an idiot, Wan. He says, surprisingly soft, as he brings your head into his chest. I'm supposed to be protecting you. Leaning away to look up at Bakugou, you give him a soft smile. It's okay to let people look out for you once in a while, too, you say, leaning forward to press a gentle kiss on his lips. Bakugou went home that night, promising to visit you the next day. Like Midori said, Bakugou brought a new vase of flowers for you. You couldn't help but giggle at the way he would walk into your hospital room with his cheeks dusted pink. He hated you for teasing him like this, and he swore he would never bring you flowers again. But he loved the way your eyes lit up when he walked into the room with the flowers in his hands. When time had come for Bakugou to leave, you bid him a sweet goodbye and turned to study the flowers he had given. There was a small note stuck between the flowers. Reaching out to grab the note, your cheeks flushed as a smile grew on your lips from the words on the note. I love you. Thank you guys for listening. Hope you liked the video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Goodbye!